going to see about the life of Abraham. Thank you for joining through this Zoom meeting. And if you have a Bible, keep it with you. And today we are going to see about the life of Abraham from book of Genesis, chapter 12. So let me share 1 minute. Praise the Lord. Thank you for joining. Today's class is about the call of Abraham from Genesis chapter 12. Let me go. If you have the Bible, please open from the book of first book. There's a Genesis chapter 12. Today's class is the call of Abraham. God makes promises and keep them. That's what we are going to see from the life of Abraham. Even though when Abraham was called, he did a small mistake. Okay? Even though he was called and he was a man of perfection, he did a small mistake, but still God forgive him and keep his promises. That's what we are going to see today. So here, as you all know, that the book of Genesis has 50 chapters, and first 1 to 11 chapters about God dealing with mankind in general, all mankind in the whole world as humanity. Then God dealing with the nation of Israel from chapter 12 to 15. For the previous few weeks, we have finished, that is chapter 1 to 11, until the nations. You all know that you are following. Thank you for coming regularly. From today onwards, we are going to see from chapter 12 to 15 about God's dealing with the nation of Israel. The nation of Israel, the four names are very important: Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. Today we are going to see about the life of Abraham. Let me go to the next slide. So, for going towards the Abraham, we should know the line of promise from the beginning. So, for example, from Adam to Noah, there are 10 great men. You can ask, what about other people? The other people are not great men. They fall into the sin. So we cannot call them as a great man. That is there in Genesis chapter 5. From Adam to, you all know, started from the man can started from Adam. And to Noah, you all know that the entire world is going to be vanished or wiped out by water, and the remaining person was Noah and his family, like 8% in the boat, in the ark. So from Adam to Noah, 10 great men. From Noah to Abraham, because today we are going, from today onwards, we are going to see about Abraham. So Noah to Abraham, 10 great men. Okay, that is there in Genesis chapter 11. What about other line who are not mentioned in this line of promise? So we can call this as a line of promise. From where the line of promise is coming? From Adam to Noah, the line of promise came from came altogether from 10 great men, from Adam to Noah, from Noah to Abraham, 10 great men. So the line of promise is continuing. Then why? What happened to other people? Why the line of promise does not continue through them? Which generations, which people are not mentioned? For example, the line of Cain. You all know that Cain killed his brother Abel, so he was sent away from the God's presence towards the east. So the line of Cain was not included. The line of builders of city, you all know that they built the city in Babel and God confused the language. So the line of builders of city are not included. The line of people destroyed in the flood are also not included. So these people are not included. So other peoples like 10 great men from Adam to Noah, and then from Noah to Abraham, 10 great men. Remember this, only through this the line of promise is going. In our life also, God has chosen only few people, isn't it? Even though God chooses, the people are not responding. Once you respond God with faith, then only you are going to include in the line of promise. If you are not going to respond, you are going to be excluded because of your sin. So that's what happened in the line of promise. So from Adam to Noah, 10 great men. From Noah to Abraham, 10 great men. People who are not included in the line of promise or the line of Cain, and the people destroyed in the flood, and the line of builders of the city, city Babel. So let me go to the family line of Terah. So there was a man called Terah, and we are going to see his family line. From Noah's family, how many sons are there from Noah? You all know that: Sem, Ham, and Japheth. From Noah to Terah, 10 great men. From Terah's family had 3 sons. The names are Abram, Nahor, and Haran. You have to remember this first. This name is Abraham, not Abraham. Abraham, Nahor, and Haran are the sons of Terah. So what are the sons of Noah? Sem, Ham, and Japheth. From Sem generation comes Terah. Understand? The Ham and Japheth generation is not included in the line of promise. Only Sem generation was included in the line of promise. So from Sem to Terah, Terah, 10 great men. So the Terah family has three sons, namely Abram, Nahor, and Haran. So let us go to the family. Haran, so Haran died before his father. Okay, but Haran married a woman, but Haran died. See, Haran is the youngest one, but Haran died. Okay, but before his death, he had one son and two daughters. The son's name of Haran was Lot, and the daughter's name was Haran were Mika and Iska. Okay, so this is about Haran, but Haran died. But what about Nahor? Nahor was another son of Terah. So Nahor is married to Milcah. Who was Milcah? Milcah was the daughter of Haran. So Nahor was married to Milcah. Okay, you can ask me why they are close relationship, because there are only few people in those days, so they married like that. Then Abraham married Sarah. Sarah, she was also a half sister of Abraham. So Abraham married Sarah. Nahor married Milcah. Then, for an unknown reason, Terah leaves Ur. The Terah was living in the nation called Ur of the Chaldean. Then, and we don't know why they left, but they left. Terah left Ur for the Chaldean with Abraham, Sarah, and the Lot, but not mention about Nahor and Milcah. So what happened? There was a man called Terah. He had three sons, Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. Haran was dead before his father, but Haran has one son and two daughters. The son name was Lot, and the daughter's name was Milcah and Iscah. So then the next son of Terah was Nahor. Nahor married Milcah, who was the daughter of Haran, and Abraham married Sarai. And for the unknown reason, the Terah, who was living in the Ur of Chaldea, lived the nation with Abraham and Sarah and the Lot. And the Lot also, who was the Lot? Lot was the Haran's son. So Lot also with them, and they moved to Haran, a place called Haran, and settled there. And after that, Terah lived in Haran for 205 years, and he died in Haran. Now the generation, the genealogy comes to Abraham. Now let us go to Abraham. Okay. So in the case of Abraham, what is happening? The Abraham's journey on faith. That's what we are going to see here. Now let us see what is happening here is that Abraham followed the call, and Abraham in Egypt. So you all know that the name of Abraham is first Abraham. So let me say about Abraham, because in the chapter 19, when Abraham was 99 years old, God changed his name from Abraham to Abraham. But now Abraham is 75 years old. So his name is Abraham, not Abraham. But when Abraham was 99 years old, God changed his name from Abraham to Abraham, which means the father of multitude nation. So let me see about the life of Abraham. Abraham followed the call, that is there in Genesis chapter 12, 1 to 9. Abraham in Egypt experienced temptation and fear. That is there in Genesis 20, Genesis 12, 10 to 20. Please take the book of Bible and first book Genesis and for chapter 12. Keep it in your hand. So let me go to the in detail about Abraham. So before I told about the forefather of Abraham, and the father of Abraham is Terah, and about the Terah family, and they were living in Ur, Chaldea, and then they traveled. So you have to know that where is Chaldea? Everything you don't know. See, it is there here. No, this is see here, this is Ur. Can you see the map here? This is Ur. It is in Babylon. Okay, Chaldea. The region name is Chaldea. The city name is Ur. Okay, from there, what happened? The Terah was living there with his son and a wife and daughters. And what happened? Immediately they transferred. They moved from Ur to the Haran. See the distance here. Who are all went from Ur to Haran? Ur, from Terah, Abraham, Sarai, and Lot, who was the son of Haran, moved to Haran. Okay, Haran is a place here. The Terah stayed in Haran for how many years? For 205 years. There he died. At the age of 205, Terah died in Haran. Then God talked to Abraham there. Then from Haran, Abraham, along with his wife and also with Lot, traveled from Haran towards Canaan. So this is a journey. Okay, understand? So please try to remember this. Ur is in Babylon. Now they are going to Cana. This is the way they traveled. Let me go to the main slide. Okay. So now what has happened? Abraham followed the call. Abraham after that in Egypt. How did Abraham follow the call? God commands and promises are there in Genesis chapter 12, 1 to 3. And Abraham's obedience is there in Genesis chapter 12, 4 to 9. Let me go to the God's command and promise. God commanded Abraham when he was in Haran with his wife Sarai and Lot. And what was the commandment given by God to Abraham? And what are the promises? So in Genesis chapter 12, 1 to 3, the first word is a command, and 2 to 3 verses are promises. Let me go to that. God's command and promises. First is a command. What is the? Let me read Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Lord had said to Abraham. Now, where is Abraham? Now Abraham is in Haran. Okay, there, Lord has said to Abraham, go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. So God is telling, live is go. Where to go? He didn't tell which place to go, but the place where he is staying is not the place he has to stay. Immediately he has to go, leaving country, people, and father's house to the land I will show. So when God called, how God called, why God called. Three questions we need to answer from this verse. Why, when God called, that's the first question. When God called, as you all know that when Abraham was in Sahara, God called him. Okay, let me go. Abraham was 75 years old when God called him when he was in Haran. Abraham and Sarah were childless, but used them to found a great nation. They have no child. Okay? Now Abraham is 75 years old, but they have no child. But God has chosen them from Abraham and Sarai, who are barren, is going to form a great nation because nothing is impossible with God. So when God called Abraham, then how God called Abraham, we don't know God how called, but it is there in Acts chapter 7, verse 2. God of glory appeared to Abraham. God appeared. In which form we don't know, but God have appeared. The revelation of God's glory would have shown Abraham the uselessness of idol worship in Ur. You all know that they stayed in Ur. Isn't it? In Ur, Abraham and his descendants and his forefathers were worshipping the moon god. They were worshipping the moon god. When God, with great glory, appeared to Abraham, then he decided it is useless to worship moon god. Okay, first of all. Then God spoke to Abraham directly. But today, God talked to us through word of God. You can ask how God is talking to me today. God is not appearing to me in glory. Instead of that, you have the word of God. Through word of God, God is talking to you. But in those days, there is no separate Bible like us to them. So God appeared to Abraham in glory and called him to go away from the place where he was staying. Since Abraham was a idol worshipper, he was worshiping the moon god. Once he saw the true glory of God, he decided hereafter not to worship the moon god, the idol, and he was to follow the true God's voice. And then why did God call Abraham? There are three reasons why God called Abraham. First thing, God want to save all the humankind for salvation. You all know that all human people are not having the good relationship with the God. They are far away from the God, and God want to give salvation to even humankind. So that's why God selected Abraham to give salvation to all human beings in this world. First reason, salvation. What do you mean by salvation? Salvation is what that once you accept Jesus as a savior, your soul is saved. Even when you die, you are not going to perish. Your soul is going to live in heaven with Jesus Christ forever. For that, you have to accept Jesus as your own savior. That is called salvation. So God wants to provide salvation to all human people. That's why he called Abraham. Then then you can ask me how Abraham is used for bringing the salvation because Jesus Christ born in the genealogy generation of Abraham. So when you see the New Testament in Matthew chapter 1, you can see genealogy, the life cycle of the life ancestors of the Jesus Christ. The first one is the Abraham. So from Abraham generation, Jesus Christ came to this world. So God selected Abraham to bring salvation to the humankind. First reason. Second reason, for blessing the whole world. God want to bless the whole world. To provide salvation for humankind, God sent His Son Jesus Christ into the world through the Jewish nation. Who formed the Jewish nation? Abraham formed the Jewish nation. By that, God want to bless the whole world. Second thing, the third reason for Abraham was called is that the life of Abraham is an example for all Christians who want to walk by faith, because he is living in a very beautiful city, well civilized city. He is not lacking with anything. He is a rich man, but still, even God appeared to him in glory and asked him to leave the place where he was living with a great faith. He left the place and he didn't ask where to go. God told, I will show you, you go. So that is a great faith, That is why the life of Abraham is an example for all the Christians who want to walk by faith. So for these three reasons, God called Abraham. One, for salvation. Two, for blessing the whole world. Three, the life of Abraham is example for you and me because he walked by faith. So let us go to the promise. The first command is what? He has to leave the place where he is living, that is Haran, immediately. Okay. What next is the promise? What promises God is giving? It is there in Genesis chapter 1, 12, 2 to 3. The promises contain seven divisions. How many promises? It has seven divisions. It is there in chapter 12, 2 and 3. Verse 2 and 3. There are seven promises. How many promises? Seven promises. I will make you into a great nation and I will bless you. Second one. Third one, I will make your name great. Fourth one, and you will be a blessing. Fifth one, I will bless you, bless those who bless you. Sixth one, I will curse those who curse you. And seventh one, all people on the earth will be blessed through you. These are the seven promises. The first promise is, I will make you into a great nation. So the Abraham's descendant, that is Abraham's family, will be those who grow into a status of great nation. What is the nation they are going to build? They are going to build a Jewish nation. So God is telling, leave the nation where you are living, leave the city where you are living, leave the family house where you are living, leave the idol what you are worshipping. Just leave everything. Go where I am sending you. If you go there, I will make you a great nation. That nation is called Jewish nation. Then I will bless you. What is a blessing? Receiving a great nation is the greatest blessing, isn't it? Why? Because now Abraham and Sarah have no child. God is telling, I'm going to build a great nation from you. Now they have no child, but God is going to bless them with a child. That child is going to grow into the great nation. So it's again, blessing is, I will bless you. And third promise is, I will make your name great. Can you hear this? I will great name you great. Before in Bible, you all know that why the people build the tower? Because they want to make a name for themselves. That's why they built the tower. Then God confused their language and the project was incomplete. They didn't finish it. But here God is telling, promising Abraham that I will make your name great. That means the great name will be a gift from God. You cannot do it by yourself. It is not your achievement, only it is a gift from God. If you want to achieve, then you started to do all things in selfish way. God don't like it. So God himself make your name great. That's what the third promise. The first promise, I will make you into a great nation. Then second promise, I will bless you. Third promise, I will make your name great. Fourth one, you will be a blessing. Not only I will bless you, wherever you are go, you are going to be a blessing. All nations and the people of the earth are to be blessed through Abraham. The final goal of God is to bring universal salvation. Abraham is a chosen person to implement that plan because in Jewish nation, Jesus Christ is going to born. Jesus Christ is going to give the salvation for the whole nation. So Abraham is going to be a blessing to all people in the world. So you will be a blessing. Fifth one, I will bless those who bless you. And you see here, I will bless those who bless you. That means God will bring favor and under his protection and care to those who bless Abraham and his family. That is the greatest blessing. God give to us, isn't it? When some people help you, God will certainly help them. So that is the meaning of it. God will bring favor and protection and care to those who bless Abraham and his family. And the second promise is, whoever curse you, I will curse. That means whoever says words of power, bad power against Abraham generation, Abraham family, God will remove them from his protection and favor. So when some people is going to curse you, if some people are going to say a bad word about you, and some people are going to say do something bad to your family and you, certainly God cannot protect them and give favor to them and care to those people. So that is the blessing of Abraham. That is a blessing of for you and me who accept Jesus as a savior. So whoever curse you, I will curse you. The seventh blessing, all people on the earth will be blessed through you. Through you. That means Abraham family is an example of what happened when God blesses someone. So through us, through you and me, the entire world is blessed. Through Abraham family, the entire world is blessed because Jesus Christ came in the Abraham family. So once people accept Jesus as a savior, they are blessed. So all people on earth will be blessed through you. So these are the seven promises God gave to Abraham. That when he was in Haran, because now he is going to, after receiving all these things, what Abraham is going to do? Abraham is going to obey. Abraham is going to obey. Abraham's obedience is there in Genesis chapter 12, 4, 9. Immediately, Abraham went as Lord told him. Immediately, Abraham went. He didn't ask any question. But and then after Abraham went to the land that's called Canaan, what God showed, there he built an altar to the Lord. Okay, he has to travel how many miles? 1,500 miles, 2,400 kilometers. So Abraham is going to travel how many kilometers? More than 2,400 kilometers. Abraham is going to travel because he's going to obey God's command. What is the God command? Immediately leave the place. That is the place, the Haran, where you are living, and go to the country what I am going to show you. So what is it? Abraham obedient is there in Genesis chapter 12, 4 to 9. So Abraham went as Lord has told him. That is there in Genesis chapter 12, 4 and 5. What is the first step of obedience is immediately doing. So first step of is a obedient faith is immediately went. Second, two obstacles that Abraham must to overcome. There are two obstacles. Okay, here we are going to see Abraham is going to obey, but even if you are going to obey, there are two obstacles. Abraham should not see the obstacle. In spite of all these hidden and obstacles, Abraham has to obey and follow what God told. That is, we are going to see in Genesis chapter 12, 4 and 5. Let me read Genesis chapter 12, 4. So Abraham went as Lot has told him, and Lot went with him. So Lot also there. His wife Sarah is also there. Abraham was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. Now, what is the problem? Abraham went as Lord has told. Similar condition was given to Noah. You all know that life of Noah. God told Noah, immediately build the altar, sorry, immediately build the ark. He didn't ask why. He immediately started to build. He built the ark for 100, how many years? 120 years. Same way, Abraham also immediately followed. This is obedient faith. Then next is what? There are two obstacles that Abraham must overcome. He has to. What are the obstacles? He took his wife Sarah, his nephew Lot, all the possessions they had accumulated, and the people they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan, and they arrived there. Arrived there. So what when they arrived? What is the problem? First problem is Abraham was 75 years old. Okay. And now immediately he's not going to give birth a son. After 25 years, only he is going to give birth a son called Isaac. So, first thing, Abraham was 75 years old. Still, he has to wait how many years? For 25 years. Second one, it is a land of Canaan. That means some other people, those people names are Canaanite were there living there. Then how Abraham will take that land from Canaanite? Lord would enable Abraham family to eliminate the Canaanite and possess the land. So Abraham didn't ask those, so many people are living, those people are Canaanite. How my generation is going to take the Canaanite? Moreover, I have no child. Then how I'm going to build a great nation? Nothing he asked. So these are the two obstacles he has to overcome to obey God's command. He obeyed. Then, once he reached him, the Canaan, what happened? He built an altar to the Lord. Where? First, he built the altar in the place called Shechem, and then he built the altar the place called Bethel. Okay, there are two city names I'm telling. First of all, I told the first city name is Ur. From there, that is in Babylon. From there, they are Haran. mm, Abraham's father Terah traveled with Abraham, his wife Sarah, and Lot from Ur to Haran. From now, God told Abraham to move from Haran. From Haran, Abraham is moved to Canaan. And then once he reached Canaan, there he's going to build the altar. First city he reached is the Shechem. There he built an altar. The second city he's going to reach is the Bethel. There is also going to build the altar. So these are all the map I want to show. I told these are the map. I want to show that map. Okay, this is a map I want to show you. 1 minute. Okay, let me show that map. Then only it will be useful for you to remember. Okay, sorry, I might have scribbled. Yes, this is the place. First place is Ur. That is in near Babylon. From there they traveled and went to Haran, the second city name. Then they went to Canaan. Okay, they reached Canaan. Once they reached Canaan, the first city Abraham went is called Shechem. The second city Abraham went is called Bethel. So that's what we are going to see today now. Okay, now let me go to the portion that I want to talk to. Okay, first is what? Okay. Okay. Built an altar at Shechem. Okay, where is Shechem now? And this is the land of Canaan. And this is a map, the land of Canaan. Can you see here? There is a dot here and a bold letter Shechem. So this is the place where Abraham reached. First city Abraham reached Shechem. And what he's going to do there? Abraham built an altar at Shechem. Genesis chapter 12, verse 6 and 7. Abraham first stopping place is Shechem. Abraham traveled through the land as far as the site of a great tree of Merib at Shechem. At that time, the Canaanites were in the land. So many people are there. Okay, the Lord appeared to Abraham and said, "To your offspring, I give this land." After reaching that, traveling 2,400 kilometers, after went to the city called Shechem, God again appeared to Abraham and said, "I will give this land to your family." I will give this land to the family. Now, Abraham has no child. Okay, Abraham is now 75 years old. Okay, Sarah is like 80 years, sorry, like 60 years old, and they are so already old. They have no children, and they went and saw to the place. They are already that land is occupied by people called the Canaanites. But God is telling again, even though you don't have any child, you are going to have your so many children. That children are going to for that children I'm going to give this land. See the promise again. It seems to be impossible. How it is possible? But God is going to do that promise. What He has already said to Abraham, because God is able. Now, next is first altar built by Abraham in Shechem. After Abraham entered into Canaan, Lord recognized Abraham's act of obedience and confirmed the promise that He has given to him. That is children and land. What is first blessing God is giving? Children. The next is land. I will give you. Then the first altar built by Abraham at Shechem. Shechem is the first place where Abraham stayed in the land of Canaan. He built the altar. Why Abraham built the altar? Who first of all built the altar? We all know that the first altar built by Noah. Once he came out of the ark after 1 year and 11 days, he came out. He built the altar. He gave the burnt offering, and God smelled the offering, and God made covenant with Noah. See, it's the first, and Noah worshipped the Lord. And next, now Abraham is building the altar. Where he's building the altar in the land of Canaan, where God asked him to go, in the city called Shechem. Because God again remembered the promise and told, "I'm going to give children. Your children are going to get this land." Okay. Now, next, built an altar. After that, he moved further. He went to Bethel. So the next stopping place was Bethel. It was one of the highest point in the Canaan. It was a mountain city, and when you see from there, you can see very beautiful places from all direction. There he built an altar to the Lord and called on the name of the Lord. Then he started to call on. Then he had to call on the true name of the Lord. Can you see here? Abraham, first of all, is not a worshipper of the true Jehovah God. He was a worshipper of moon god. idol worshipper. Okay, he slowly, not at all removing the idol worship from them. Now he started to call on the true God name. That's the name of the Lord. Where? In Bethel. But in Shechem, he first built the altar. Then next is, and Bethel also, he built the altar. Now he's staying there for some days. How many days he stayed there? We don't know. Okay, he was staying there happily with his wife Sarai and his brother's son Lot. Isn't it? His brother's son, you all know that Abraham's brother name is Haran, but he died. He had one son and two daughters. The son name is Lot. He also traveled with Abraham wherever he is going. Now the Lot is with Abraham. Now what is happening? There is going to be a great temptation. Abraham is going to Egypt. There he is going to face a temptation. That we'll see in Genesis chapter 12, 10 to 20. Let me go to that portion. Please keep it open. Now we all know that from Ur, that is in Babylon, Chaldea. Chaldea is another name of Babylon. From Ur, from it is belong to the nation called Babylon. There, from there they travel to Haran. From Haran, they travel to Cana. How many miles they have traveled? They have traveled 2,400 kilometers and reached Shechem. There they built one. Abraham built one altar, and then they moved to Bethel. There again also Abraham built the altar and started to worship the Lord. It was going on. Then after some time, from Cana, they have to go to Egypt. Can you see here Egypt? It is here. They have to cross a long distance. We have to see why they went to Egypt. God has already promised a land. He is in the promised land. Then why he is going to Egypt? What is necessary? Is God told Abraham to go to Egypt? What problem happened? Why he decided that? What happened to Abraham in Egypt? Why he was tempted in Egypt? All these things we are going to see now. First of all, Abraham in Egypt. Abraham experienced fear and fell into temptation. Why? That also we are going to see. Then Sarai was taken into Pharaoh's palace. Can you see who is the Pharaoh? Pharaoh was the king of the Egypt. All the king of the Egypt they called as a Pharaoh. Now, instead of staying with Abraham, Sarai is going to taken in the Pharaoh's palace. But God never give up Abraham. God forgive Abraham for the mistake what he has done. Let us see what mistake he has done. First of all, Abraham experienced fear and fell into temptation. Why? Because in Egypt, in first thing is that when Abraham was in when Abraham was the land of Canaan, there was a great famine. That when Abraham was in Canaan, there was a great famine. There was no rain and there was no food, nothing to eat. So he was very sad. So can you see here? God already promised that land. He has to stay in that land. While staying in the land, there was a great famine, which is exactly opposite to his promise, isn't it? God has to provide, no? But now there is no food, no rain. But Abraham didn't inquire God what to do. Immediately, he thought in the mind, oh, nearby there is a place called Egypt, is it? But in Egypt, there was a great river called Nile. And since there is a river Nile, if the water is flowing everywhere, no need of rain also there. Even though there was no rain, there we can get the food. Some people came and told Abraham, because so many people are moving towards Egypt, because there is no food. Hearing that, Abraham decided, oh, let me also go to Egypt. He didn't ask God any permission, nothing he asked. He went to Egypt directly with his wife and with his sons, with his brother's son Lot. So everybody went there, where? Egypt. Okay, while going towards Egypt, in the border, Abraham was very fearful and he fell into the temptation. Why, Abraham is going to search food in Egypt. Okay, and he has no rights there. Moreover, the Egyptian, the king Pharaoh was very bad king. When there was a very beautiful girl, they tried to take that girl to his palace and make that girl his wife. So that was going on because he's a king. Nobody can ask why, no. So he's very afraid. In the border, he's asking his wife, my Sarah, and I'm very afraid if I go to Egypt, when they see that you are so beautiful, when they came to know that you are my wife, to get you from me, they're surely going to kill me. So what I'm going to do, no, I'm going to tell you, not you as my wife, I'm going to tell you are my sister. Can you see here what he is doing? So then they never kill me, and moreover, because of you, they will help me so much. Is it okay? See now, he's falling into the temptation slowly because he's going to the place where God didn't show, isn't it? So this was happening. So Abraham experienced fear and fall into temptation. You can ask why Abraham did like this. Actually, Sarai was Abraham's step sister. Okay, he's not direct sister. He's a step sister. He's a faraway relative, a little bit like a sister, but not a real sister. It's a step sister, she's a wife, isn't it? So what he's going to tell lies for deception? Okay, for his care. He didn't care about his wife. Okay, he's care about his life. He want to live, and he didn't care about his wife. So this going on. Now they entered. Okay. Now what happened? Both Abraham and Sarah and Lot entered Egypt. Okay. Once they entered, the people saw Sarah was very beautiful. The people went and told the king there was a man called Abraham, and his wife Sarah was very beautiful. He said, "Bring that lady to me." Because they came and asked him, "Who is this?" Oh, he told, "Oh, she's my sister." His sister? Oh, then okay. King want her. So they took. Okay, the Sarai was taken to Pharaoh's palace. Okay, when Abraham came to Egypt, the Egyptians saw that Sarai was a very beautiful woman, and when Pharaoh officials saw her, they praised her to Pharaoh, and she was taken into his palace, Pharaoh's palace. Everything went well to Abraham because of her, and he was given sheep, cattle, donkey, male and female slaves, and camel. Now, what happened? The king was very happy. Oh, because of your sister, I'm giving you all these things. Take it. I will take your sister for as my wife. So now Sarah is where? In Pharaoh's palace. Now Abraham became very, very rich. So many things they are giving. So now everything is going well for Abraham. But what Abraham doing is totally wrong. God is waiting for all these things. Can you see here? Then what happened? God never give up Abraham. True, Abraham did so mistake. No, it's very bad. But God never give up. That is there in Genesis chapter 12, 17 to 20. But Lord sent a terrible disease upon Pharaoh and his household because of sudden what happened immediately? The king became very sick. The sickness is terrible. Nobody can understand what is the sickness. Not only the king's wife. King has so many wives. The king's wife, the king's son and daughters, the servants who are working in the king's palace. Everybody became terribly sick. Terribly sick. They cannot come out of the sickness. They are suffering, 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 suffering. Who sent this? The Lord sent this terrible plague. The Lord then spoke to Pharaoh one night. Lord spoke to Pharaoh and cautioned him not to touch Abraham's wife. God told this girl, Sarah is not Abraham's sister. This lady is Abraham's wife. Don't touch her. This is a warning for you. That's why plague come. Immediately send her. Immediately the next morning he got up and called Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, called Abraham and scolded him. Why didn't you tell me that she's your wife? Why didn't you say that she's your sister and allow me to take her for my wife? What happened is my touch. I didn't touch her. I didn't take her as a wife. Before that itself, God came in a dream, appeared to me and told that she's your take away. What you did is wrong. Then here's your wife. Take her and go. He was very angry. Then not only that, Pharaoh gave his men orders concerning Abraham. Let him take everything what is have. Let him send him away from this place. Don't take anything from him. Whatever I gave, no, all the cattle, sheep, maids, servants, everything, whatever he has, what I gave to him, let him have it. Send him away. Throw him out of this city. I don't want to see him. What he did is very great sin. Get him. Get him out. Immediately, they all, Abraham, Sarai, and all his belongings, along with Lot, leave Egypt, and they came out. Why did why did Abraham fail to trust God? That is the question we have to ask. Not only Abraham, most of the time we also try to do this type of mistake. We never tell like our sister and all, but when the problem comes, we try to hide ourselves and we try to what we'll do, we try to get the good things, even though some people suffer. We never worry about them, but you want only good thing and don't care about other. If somebody is going to suffer because of your selfishness, also you don't care. I don't care. I want to be good. I want food. I want good place to live. I don't care about other. Let them suffer. But I want. So, and moreover, when problem comes, we never ask God. We take our own decision. We think, oh, that is correct. All the people are going to Egypt. Let me also go. All the children are doing like this. Let me also do. So, for example, when there was an exam, when you didn't study, for example, you were sick or you didn't study, or you didn't study properly. When there was exam is going on, when some children are copying other children, when you see that, oh, that child is also copying, let me also copy. Let me also do. What is wrong in that? So this is all wrong. So if some people are doing mistake, don't do that mistake. And moreover, for your selfish action, don't do bad thing to others. That's what Abraham did. Why Abraham failed? Abraham was fearful and betrayed his wife. First of all, he is fearful. First of all, he went to the place where he should not go. He didn't ask God. He went to the place taking his own imagination, taking his own idea. Once he went going to enter, he was very fearful. For that, he betrayed his own wife. Okay, he had failed to draw near to God. He didn't ask God, and then he trusted his own idea instead of consulting God. If there is a problem, you have to pray, okay, and find the solution. You should not take the wrong decision. So that was the problem. Is God left Abraham? No, because God gave an excellent promise. How many promises? Seven promises, isn't it? God is a promise keeping God. He never ever is not unfaithful to not do the promise to us. The same happened here. Abraham sensed, then Abraham sensed, oh my God, see, all these people are scolding me. What I did is so wrong, so wrong. Abraham sensed that he need forgiveness, he need cleansing, he need renewal, he need to renew himself. What I did is wrong. So he went to Bethel. I told you, no. First of all, when he entered Canaan, he went to Shechem. There he built an altar. Again, God appeared to him and told, "I give you children. For your children, I give this land." Then he went to Bethel. The Bethel was a beautiful city. There also he built an altar. He started to worship God, isn't it? From there only he went to Egypt without asking. Now he sensed what he did is wrong. So he went to again to Bethel and he asked forgiveness to the God. God forgave him. How? God came. So Abraham sensed that he had forgiveness, cleansing, renewal. So he went to Bethel where he built altar and worshiped the Lord. Abraham came back. The way was open for him to came back, and that the Lord received him back. See, the king might have been very angry and told, "You did mistake. You told wrong thing to me. So I'll put you in the jail. I never let you, and I'll kill you." Something he might have said, no, he is a great king. He can do anything. Because what Abraham did is totally wrong. Even the Lord appeared and warned. And moreover, all his people, householders got very sick. The plague was terrible. They suffered for so many days. All this suffering only because of this one man's selfishness. So the king can do anything to Abraham, but he didn't do anything. He left him. You all go, take all things and go, because God has provided the path. Not the path. The God talked to king also to send Abraham without harming him. So God make a way, and Abraham came back, and the way was open, and the Lord received him back. And that's why we can see today, even though if you do mistakes, no, God, if you ask forgiveness, if you are cleansing, if you remove the things what you have done, God is ready to forgive you. So greatest sin the Abraham did, telling his wife as a sister, that sin also God forgave. But because he asked forgiveness. So what are the important point today we learned? First one is God has always decided to be in relationship with the people he has created. To make a creation, to make a relationship only, God himself came and talked with, appeared to Abraham. Abraham didn't ask for a true God, and he didn't also worship the true God. He was worshiping the moon God, the idol worshiper. To that man, God appeared. Why? Because God always want to desire to have a relationship with his people. Always want to have a good. The same God also want to have a relationship with you. That's why God is coming to you and talking to you, and through Bible and everything God is talking to you. Next is by doing so, God give people correct information about him. Why God want to have relationship with us? Then only we can know who our God is, how faithful our God is, how marvelous our God is, how powerful our God is, how God died on the cross for our sin. How you will know? Only if you have a good relationship with God. Second thing, God give people, by having the relationship, God give people the correct information about himself. Third one, God makes promises, and also God want to give promises to the people, and he want to keep them. God did promise. How many promises? Seven promises to Abraham. Still, he did great mistake, but still, God forgave him and kept his promise. God is able to overcome any obstacle that seems to get in the way of his promise. So many obstacles came, isn't it? In first obstacle is what? There was a famine. That was obstacle. Second obstacle was Abraham fell into the fear and temptation. All these obstacles were there. Even though there are so many obstacles, God seems to get into the way of his promise. Immediately, he bring the people back to his way and promise and fulfill that promise. So this is what we learn from the life of Abraham. Thank you for joining. And today's memory verse is Hebrews chapter 11, 8 to 10. By faith, he made his home. Whom he means Abraham. By faith, Abraham made his home in the promised land, like a stranger in a foreign country. Can you see here? Stranger in a foreign. What is a foreign country? The foreign country is Canaan. He lived in tents. He didn't build a house. He was a great rich man. Can you see here? So many cattle, so many donkeys, so many slaves, so many things are there. But he didn't build a house. He lived in tent as Isaac and Jacob, who were heirs with him of the same promise. Who are the descendants of Abraham? Abraham's descendants are Isaac. Isaac's son was Jacob. All these people lived in the land, in the tent, for he was looking forward to the city with the foundation, whose architect build is God. So now he didn't build the house. He only lived in the tent because God has promised there is another place that is in heaven. There he is going to have a beautiful foundation. That foundation is by Jesus Christ. And there he is going to have a permanent house that is in heaven. So with that promise, he lived in the tent. He lived in the Canaan. He didn't see his generation people, the generation people occupied the land of Canaan. He died before that, but God's promise was there. But after 1,000 years, the descendants of Abraham occupied the land of Canaan. But still, Abraham believed and lived in the land in the tent. He didn't build any building. He lived in the tent because of faith. That's what we learned today. Thank you, children, for joining. Please read the book Genesis chapter 12 in the home, and I'll send the portion also so you can read it also.